and equipment prepared for this time trial. However, no specific bike is suitable for a particular rider. So if they're taking the event really seriously, they need to get into a wind tunnel and work out what position they can produce the most power in. That was a good move there. China in trouble. They've gone through all the time checks the fastest.
Yeah, now they're in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah. Went out very, very hard. They've got the women out on the circuit now, and they've got only 2 riders left of the 3 women that started.
Yeah, can't see where their other one is.
Yeah, they're down to 2.
But from the start, they looked fantastic from the helicopter shot. They looked really well drilled. Suddenly, they've kind of cracked.
Yeah, it can happen. There's so many aspects of this World Championship that's so difficult to deal with. Apart from the course being particularly hard, it's the climate, the altitude, adaptation, hydration. But I think the rider on the front now is doing a really good job.
It's funny, when you look at the elevation, 740 metres of elevation today. It's quite a lot, but actually Zurich had more last year. So it must be the altitude that's causing the problem.
Yeah, 740 metres of altitude in this distance, just over 40 kilometres of the team relay is quite a significant amount of climbing in a course.
Yeah.
Maybe not the most, but probably harder, a lot harder because of the cobbled climb and the altitude and the climate here. So you can see the women from China, they had their men go through the finish super fast, more than a minute faster than another team, but they are in big trouble right now.
Yeah, they're in all sorts of trouble. Look at them. You can't really come back from this, can you?
Yeah, when your second rider is blown up like that, we say hit the wall.
Yeah.
Gone completely lactic. The lactic acid buildup, it's going to take, in a normal environment at sea level, 20 to 30 minutes to remove some lactic acid.
Yeah.
So it's not going to happen here, unfortunately, for the Chinese.
They're waiting, trying to bring their rider to the top. But once they get over the top, you've got this respite, and you'll be able to get at least the legs feeling a little bit better. You can see how much this is hurting now. They're on these X-Lab bikes, the same bikes as the Astana team rides, being developed in China. Huge Chinese company that deal with the X-Lab bikes. And they've been really brought up to World Tour level by that work with Astana and learning what the team need.
Yeah, it's been a really, really big move from the Chinese to investing in cycling. I think they've made really big leaps and bounds, and like I said earlier in our program, I think in 5 years we're going to see a lot more Chinese riders dominating in the world stage of cycling.
Alexander Vinokurov is the head of that Astana team. He's brought that Chinese partnership in, and it seems to be working extremely well and getting good rewards. The Rwandan women, I'm going to be interested to see how close China are going to be to Ethiopia here. Because let's bear in mind, at the end of the lap 1 with the men, China were 52 seconds ahead of Ethiopia. But we've seen the Ethiopian women reach the top of the climb all together, riding strongly. And I wonder whether they might turn the tables on the Chinese squad by the top.
I think they're closing in. I don't think they're going to turn the tables at this intermediate split, but they look like they're composed. So they've still got, time to bring back. So let's see when they come through this time check. They're still down on the Chinese.
This is Rwanda now, 42 seconds down on the Ethiopian women. So Rwanda were 33 seconds or so down on the team of Ethiopia. Now they've gone 52 seconds down, so they've lost more time. So top of the leaderboard to that point, Ethiopia. Rwanda at 42.89. If it's 2 seconds between them and the finish, it will come down to the first rider in the men's going across the line, his teammate getting annoyed and sitting up. That's how close this is going to end up being if that does happen. Now they're onto the descent. Big gear engaged, and we will get these riders down to the bottom of the descent. The start of the next team. This is our second block. This is the UCI World Cycling Centre, and this is Mohamed Dalai, Yafit Mulugeta and Ahmed Wais. So we've got a Tunisian, an Eritrean, one of our refugee team getting going now. As they work their way out of the starts. World Cycling Centre, based predominantly from their hub in Aigle in Switzerland, but there's a number of other hubs around the world as well, isn't there, now, for the World Cycling Centre? It's not just about being in Switzerland.
No, the UCI have done a fantastic job in globalising, and we just see having the World Championships in Africa here. We see the efforts they've put in over the last 5 to 10 years to globalise cycling has just been incredible.
And those little hubs, those World Cycling Centre hubs, mean that the African nations have access. It means that riders are able to come who don't have the support. They learn, they come to Switzerland, they learn to ride there. Then sometimes we've heard about them being taken to a bit of a training camp in the north of France as well, as we see the Chinese team coming up to this split. And despite the Chinese team having that problem, they are still, by the looks of things, going to be the fastest team.
Yeah, I think the decision was probably made to just leave our strongest rider on the front. She's obviously restricted to the efforts of a second rider. It's just about maintenance and just being aware of your teammates and try and get that second rider to the finish line as quick as possible. So they've not yet gone through the second time check, but they did go through.
So they're all at that intermediate one, aren't they? And Uganda have just got to that second time split. So China, Ethiopia, Rwanda, Uganda and Benin is the current order. China leading by 48 seconds. Ethiopia are 42 seconds ahead of Rwanda. And then 1 minute 25 to Uganda. And then there's the team of Benin who are about 8 and a bit minutes behind. But it's all about taking part. That's what this section of this team mixed relay is all about. In our next group of riders, we have the Belgian squad and the Spanish squad. I know we're talking about the favourites. Who do you see as the favourites for today, if you had to name the top two?
France and Australia.
Australia.
That's an easy top two for me to say. Switzerland will definitely be in the mix for sure.
Okay.
You know, they're the three nations I expect to be on the podium. Germany. I know Belgium are in a bit of trouble today, just making up numbers and there for the points and experience, because they had one of their really good riders, Marta Goossens, who was 21st in the individual time trial, have a little bit of an accident last night. She fainted and hit her head and had stitches. Yeah, so that would have been a strong addition to the team. She's out now, so that kind of just changes. You know, let's just get out there for the experience. Let's get some UCI points, do our best with what we've got. But
that's going to hurt that team, isn't it?
Yeah, I think for the Belgians, they would have liked to have really had that rider in Marta Goossens.
Yeah, she's so useful, isn't she, Marta Goossens? That's a shame that we don't see that. So you think then that Australia and France are our first and second place teams?
Yeah, I mean Switzerland could possibly as well.
Okay.
I say Australia, France and Switzerland are top three. I like the names on the list for Australia. I think they're all very experienced, very strong.
Let's see how they go.
Defending champions.
Mauritius are underway. Aurélien de Cormorant, Alexandra Meyer and William Piat. Mauritius, of course, have got Kim Lecourt in this squad of women when they come back round. Kim Lecourt did so well in the Tour de France. This is the warm-up area. This is the Belgian squad on the far side we were talking about. They do have Victor Campenaerts. They've got Florian Vermeers. But the women's squad is going to struggle a little bit.
It was interesting when I asked Victor, about the team time trial relay here at the World Championship. And he said, my participation in this event is to give experience to our developing riders on a world stage and a world level. Obviously, he won't be able to go out there and give his best effort because he needs to keep his teammates with him, and it's a real team effort. So he wants to give an opportunity to his country, you know, and I think that's a really nice thing to do. And, you know, he could say, hey, look, I'm coming to the World Championships and I just want to ride the individual events and I don't want to be a part of the team relay. I want to recover and rest. But a really nice guy, really respectful, and he'll be out there just giving all the knowledge he has and experience he has to his teammates.
This is painful, isn't it?
Yeah, this is really painful. As we said, the two women from Uganda, they need to cross the line together, so they're only as strong as their second rider.
Maria Lepper starting to suffer a little bit on this cobble climb. See if she can pull it together a little bit, get back on the wheel, get herself into position. It's really hard to explain just how tough this is.
You're absolutely right. And it's just a super tough climb. It's just, you know, you come onto the climb and you think you can see a corner where it's the end of the climb, but it just keeps going. And every single thing, like your arms and muscles and skin and eyeballs and everything, teeth are chattering and shaking, and it's really hard to keep traction. There were a few drops of rain earlier today, which would have made it even slippery and much more difficult. However, it's just, you can see here, you think you come to the top, but you see there it goes around the corner and it just keeps going up. So it's a really tough climb. Physically, but mentally, it's very difficult.
But it's the other feeling as well, isn't it? You've just described beautifully about how you think that you're just riding a bike and you're on a line and you're riding, but suddenly when you go into the red zone like the rider in second place is going into right now, it's the feeling of everything is drained.
Yeah, and when you're on the cobbles and everything's shaking,
it's even worse.
It's just so hard to push power through the pedals. All you want to do is just stop and sit down. Get off the bike and sit down. It's just so hard to keep the momentum of keeping the bike going. Just keep going. And it's the pain. You just have to bear the pain. But, you know, sometimes physically the power's not there. So it's really difficult.
They've got themselves back together here on this cobbled rise.
It does go on a long way, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? Well, it's over 2 kilometres. What cobbled climb lasts for 2 kilometres?
At that gradient.
Yeah, that gradient. Going back to the starts, the Mauritian team have gone. This should be the team of Ukraine, and it is. So we've got Harol Chikov, we've got Danilo Kozaris and Seaman Simon. There are 3 men who are about to get going for Ukraine. I never realised, right, that the commissaires have actually a specific way of counting down from 5. That they actually learn how to count down from 5 with their fingers.
They learn to count down from 5?
Yeah, they do, apparently. I don't know if that's an urban myth, but I'm pretty sure it's true. Because they have to end up with the final finger being the finger to say, go, off you go. So they actually... It must be an exam in the commissaires course, do you reckon? They count down from 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. I can't even do it. But, yeah. But apparently that is a thing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, the UCI, I mean, all of the commissaires have to attend the UCI's training, so that would be one of the aspects for sure. And obviously they're giving different languages in different world championships.
And they won't mind me saying that at all. I love working with the commissaires around the world, and we have good fun. And they give us the information we need. But, you have to learn to count down from 5 to 1. It's a bit like Remco Evenepoel the other day when he was trying to get the 3 fingers together to show us that he'd won 3 titles in a row. Took him a bit of thinking. Maria Lepper is coming back to her teammate. He's doing a good job of looking after her here and just letting her come back steadily. It's going to be another really hard push up to the finish line, and then we'll see how these riders are doing, and they will set the standard for all of the other squads to chase this afternoon. Through this heat haze, So Mary Alepa and her teammate almost there now for the team of Uganda.
Only 200 meters to go.
It's been a horrible race, you can tell.
Everything, and they will be at the finish soon.
But they will be able to say we completed the World Championship. They'll know what their time is. They'll better compare themselves to the other nations. That last little push over the top, and then they'll see the line. And they will make their way to the conclusion, and then all the pain can stop. At least for a little while. Just checking over the shoulder one more time, just to bring her teammate to the finish. Uganda are almost there, our first team to complete this course. Ethiopia will be next. Those last pedal strokes, as Rochelle said, feel like an absolute eternity. The time has been set by Uganda, 1:05:58.19. Here's the arrival of the Ethiopian squad. Their two riders have stayed together. They've done a good job. They're going to be significantly faster than the team of Uganda. Here they come then into the finish line, and they finish right together.
Wow,
3:35 ahead.
Finished that off well, Ethiopia. China struggling out there. They had such a good ride with their men, and then their women, disastrous ride for them.
Let's see whether they can bring this back together, the Chinese team. I imagine it's going to be pretty hard. Here's the team of Spain. Now, this is a good squad. Hector Alvarez, Raul Garcia and Ivan Romeo. These guys are pretty rapid in a time trial. Ivan Romeo, under 23 world champion in the time trial, winner of a stage of the Dauphiné. Sprinting away here. Now, this is I'd say, safe to say, this is the first team, Rochelle, who are World Tour level riders, and are really well drilled.
Absolutely. You can see directly now that we're seeing the professionalism of a team time trial and how it really works, and what these riders that we're watching on screen right now from Rwanda, they're trying to achieve, and this is an experience to do that. It takes an absolute special art, and it's just not just 1 year of hard work, it's years and years of experience to be able to ride a team time trial or a team pursuit very well. So it's a fine art to be able to sit right on the wheel and to be so aware of what your teammates are capable of behind you, just by body language and hearing the breathing and just signals and stuff like that. So we're going to see a huge difference in what this event's all about when we get from these emerging nations that are here for experience and to gain some UCI points. And we have our first real professional team out on the circuit now.
Benin are almost there. Ethiopia's time, 1 hour and 2 minutes. Benin come through 9 minutes down, 9:52 down.
So we have 3 teams already at the finish out of 15, means 12 teams left.
It's team time trial mixed relay, and it's
Here's Rwanda. They're working well together now, these two, keeping each other going. Shoulder to shoulder to the top of the hill. Now they just need to bring the rest of this home. Going well, these two. Little acceleration over the top, just trying to keep the power on. 1,000 meters to go. Little downhill section to just get the legs turning over again before that final sprint to the top. They've looked good throughout this course, this team of Rwanda. And here's the World Cycling Centre coming up to the line. And they are down on the team of China by about a minute. 1 minute and 2 seconds down on China, the World Cycling Centre.
Well, we've spoken a lot about China, but yeah, they're not having the best ride with their women. But from that first wave of riders, obviously the UCI World Cycling Centre first off in the second wave. Good ride, solid ride out there at the moment.
At the finish line then, it's all about the Ethiopian team who are the fastest. Behind them, Uganda, then Benin. Rwanda are expected to finish soon. We're waiting to find out what the Chinese team will post for everybody else to chase. World Cycling Centre into the Aero Tucks now, fast downhill. If they can keep their team together, that will help them on that section as they run up towards the line. Our next team is about to go. We were talking about them a moment ago. This is the team of Belgium with Victor Campenaerts on the far left, the world hour record holder in his career. Florian Vermeers, who is a rider here on the right-hand side, who rides in the same team as Tadej Pogačar. Finished second in the Paris-Roubaix, Florian Vermeers, and they've got Jonathan Verven in the middle. And they get started then, the team of Belgium. As Rochelle outlined, their women's team is going to be a little bit changed. Rwanda finished with the second fastest time. I'm wondering what the winning time is going to be. We're at 1 minute and 3 now.
Yeah, Rwanda finished 46 seconds in total. It's not a lot, I guess over 40 kilometres down on Ethiopia, who now sits in the hot seat as the fastest team that have finished the circuit, both men and women. I think we're going to see significantly faster. So the average speed of the fastest team so far to finish, both their men and women in this mixed team relay, is Ethiopia, and their average speed was 40.2 kilometres per hour. So over the 40 kilometres with the 3 men and the 3 women, we could probably predict, what do you think, Anthony, 45?
45, I think. Maybe a little bit faster. 46, maybe.
46 could be quite impressive on such a tough circuit.
You can join in with us. What's the prediction going to be? We think around 45, 46k an hour. Will it be faster than that? You can get us on social media as always. Let us know what you think. The Rwandan team now just trying to recover. Get the water poured on them, bring the temperature down. But sometimes, actually, I've noticed a number of riders saying, don't give me any more water. I can't deal with it.
It is very difficult to drink. Once you get a little bit dehydrated here, which happens very, very quickly, then it's super, super hard to swallow that water and get it in. So it's really, really difficult challenge here in Rwanda, not only for the cyclists, also the staff. All of us suffering with the different challenges and aspects and of the environment here. So yeah, when you finish your ride and you're super fatigued too, sometimes you just don't really want things pushed in your way.
No. This is a nice finish by the team of China, the Chinese women. Good teamwork. They said, come on, let's work together. And that's what they did. They crossed the line now. And China go to the top of the leaderboards. 118.72. It was a nice touch there as they got towards the top of the hill. The first place rider just saying, come on my wheel now, let's push this. Give it the last little sprint. And whilst her teammate was suffering, they just helped each other out, got themselves across the line, and the Chinese men celebrating, going to the top of the leaderboard. They're happy.
And they're going to be in the hot seat, which is a wonderful experience at the World Championships. When you are the leader of a time trial or team time trial relay, you get the opportunity, the team, to stay in that area of the medalist, gold medalist, silver medalist and bronze medalist until your time is beaten, and then you have to leave. But for that period, watching the timers, let's hope the next one doesn't beat us. The next one doesn't beat us. And you get to sit there and feel that, real... I mean, I'm sitting in a winning position right now. It's a really fantastic opportunity for the athletes.
Yeah, and look how happy they are that they're going to be there, the Chinese team.
Well, they know that there's already been several other teams finished, and I think, even if every other team finishes them, they've got to be happy with this ride because they've beaten 5 other teams to the finish line. And that's really a significant amount of UCI points they'll take home for their nation.
You can see here this rider just trying to recover. She has given everything, and the Chinese team are very happy with that performance. Winning Group 1, for them that is fantastic, and you can just hear how hard you had to perform in order to get that time. It's not easy at all. The Belgian men are out 4 minutes into their ride. We're waiting for the riders to arrive at the various intermediate time splits. Mauritius have gone through the first intermediate split, 54 seconds down on China. So the Chinese team did go significantly quick out on that first little section of this race. This shot gives you an idea of just how hilly Kigali is. And you see how quickly the roads drop off to the left-hand side, and you see the mountains in the background and everything. It's an interesting place as far as roads are concerned. 75k an hour, though, for the team of Belgium. Just trying to see who's there on the front. Campenaert's in second place. He goes through. He's so super smooth the way he rides. Verven was the rider who had been on the front, and it's Florian Vermeers who goes through in second place.
We were speaking, Anthony, earlier about the top speeds, because this morning I had the opportunity of sitting on the wheel of Anna van der Breggen, who was sitting on the wheel of a motorbike downhill, and we were hitting 90 kilometres per hour. So
wow.
When Victor Campenaerts went to the front, there's a very fast section. I wonder if he will hit 80 or 90 kilometres per hour in the wind, but he needs to be aware that his teammates are capable of that as well. They're running over 60 teeth chain rings on the front of their bikes, the men, and even up to 68 teeth. So that's absolutely a humongous gear, because they can gain, with their aerodynamics and professionalism and experience, those teams that are really, really dialed in, they're drilled in, they can really gain on the descents, those crucial seconds for the gold medal.
Bit of a dinner plate on the front of these bikes for some of these riders. It looks like they're doing everything they can to get as much free speed as possible. Coming up then, the Ukrainian team. A little bit of discussion going on between them. They're third fastest.
I find it very interesting that in the team trial relay, mixed relay that we're watching right now, team radios are allowed where riders can communicate with each other and the team director behind them. However, we've seen with the emerging nations, the first wave of riders going off, a lot of speaking going on face-to-face.
Yes.
Which means they may not be carrying a radio. But when you see the more experienced teams out there on the course, they'll have in the front of their chest strapped a team radio, and in their ear they'll have communication with each of the riders and with the team director that's following in the team car.
We'll try and spot that. These skin suits look super sleek that Spain have got, don't they?
You just beat me to it. I was just looking, the zip in the back there, it's the wind comes over the helmet, so it misses that little bit. It allows less crumple in the front of the jersey, but it's all about the aerodynamics on the frontal surface area, the areas that hit the wind. And when we get to the elite of the elite in the team time trialling, it's all about aerodynamics. And just trying to find the position where you can produce the most power in the most aerodynamic position.
But it's funny how team time trials and skin suits, a few years ago the zip was on the back. Then everyone said it's not fast with it on the back, so everyone had them on the front. We've had skin suits without zips, and then suddenly this year the zips, although they are, as you've just identified, shorter, are now back on the back.
Yeah, so we are seeing different trends all the time. That may be because of new materials. They may have come up with a new glossy, slippery, wind-efficient zip material, or different positions of different riders make a big difference as well, because if their head is in the right position, the wind will slip over. It won't even touch that zip, so it won't catch any wind on that zip. So it's really a really individual thing, time trialling and the time trial position, but the equipment and aerodynamics, it's all about equipment and aerodynamics and finding how you can get the most power out of your bike and be most efficient. The rider number 63 a bit frustrated with pace.
Well, I don't know whether he's telling the car to be quiet.
He might be telling them too much talk on the radio. Stop, please.
Yeah. So the arrival of the Spanish squads. Look at that. That's a time, isn't it? Nearly a minute faster. On the back of the group was Ivan Romeo. He rides for the Movistar team. Oops. This rider is struggling on the cobbles now for the team of UCI World Cycling Centre. This is the rider who rides for the refugee team, RYA. Spain now. Let's watch them go down this descent. We'll see just how fast they are. They're dragging each other now down the descent as fast as possible.
Well, you can see even at high speeds that we see there's so much work from the front rider that needs to be done. And the second, third rider, just to get on the wheel, they don't even need to pedal. They can really breathe deep, get some air into the lungs. But it's a super fast, technical downhill, smooth roads, but there's so much power that needs to go through the pedals of the first rider and so much recovery for the second and third rider.
Just having a little look to see what chain rings they're on this afternoon. On the back is Raul Garcia, the Spanish time trial champion. This is the Belgian men with Victor Campenaerts on the front. Right to the team of Visma Lisa Bike. He's so careful about his equipment as well, isn't he, Campenaerts? Everything is about aerodynamics. Oops, Florian Vermeers almost touches the back wheel.
Again. Yeah, as we said, like, it's a very easy circuit to go out too hard, and then you see a little bit of fatigue come in. And that's why we see riders not sitting directly on the wheel, but just a little bit to the side.
The World Cycling Centre. The team car beeping the horn as they make their way up the hill. Some people love that kind of motivation. Others, like Ivan Romeo, are like, please be quiet. I don't want any more horn blasting and talking on the radio. I just need to concentrate. Some sports directors get a bit carried away, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like we've said in many different aspects of this sport of cycling, it's so individual and it's difficult when you put them together into a team because one rider might like a lot of information and constant communication from their team director in the race car behind in the race radio. Oh, Belgium are in trouble here with the men. Well,
Florian Vermeers goes.
That's a little bit of a surprise to me so early because, I mean, they do only have to finish with 2 until their women go off for the second lap.
But that's very early, isn't it? Florian Vermeers, the tallest rider in this group, but he is a rider who's been riding alongside Tadej Pogačar. We know he's got power. We know he's very, very good on the flat. And I wonder whether this might be a mistake for Belgium this afternoon here, Rochelle, to lose Vermeers so early.
Well, they've got experience, so I'm not sure if it would be a mistake. They've got communication with their team director. They've obviously just decided, look, if it's not your day, you don't have the power, we got to go. We have to go.
Campenaerts is nailed, isn't he? Look at the way he's going. He's absolutely rock solid on that bike. He looks very, very good indeed. Well, Florian Vermeers has gone. He's already miles behind. And he kind of gave a wave of the hand. Oh, off you go.
Well, look, you could have said, I think yesterday, before they lost one of their strongest women to an accident she had last night with the altitude and everything, and she fainted and she knocked her head and had to have stitches, wasn't able to start today. Hopefully she'll be okay for the road race. But they've decided they're just in this race to gain experience and take home some UCI points, but as of yesterday, I would have said they were an outside medal chance.
Yeah.
Now I'd say they might be 4th, 5th to 10th, but 4th, 5th, 6th, but gold, silver, and bronze, I think they're going to struggle.
Yeah. Belgium have gone through 7.55 seconds down on Spain. This is the arrival now of the World Cycling Centre to the end of this lap of racing. See how they do. Across the line now, and the World Cycling Centre women get underway on the other side. Alalia Darwish, Fariba Hashmi and Yildiz Hashmi. Now the two Hashmi sisters are really strong. I fear a little bit for Alalia Darwish because these two riders are incredibly quick.
I think being a part of the UCI World Cycling Centre has a massive advantage that you spend a lot of time together. So I think they would have had more time than most teams to discuss how we're going to execute this ride and what are we going to do with our weakest rider. So yes, I think that's a huge advantage to be a part of the UCI World Cycling Centre's team. Just being living together and being together every single day, I think makes a huge difference for a team event.
We look at the Spanish team. They've got 3 riders together, which means you get an additional amount of rest. Compared to Belgium now, we've only got 2 riders. We've got to continue, go through and off. These 3 riders, you can sit on the back and have a little bit of a rest, which means that things, in terms of effort, you can get more effort out before the end. You can go quicker. They're riding well so far. Spain are the fastest team at the first intermediate split, 7.5 seconds over Belgium, with China at 56.60. This is our intermediate point number 2. They've gone through now 1 minute 25 seconds faster than China. That's impressive.
Yeah, for the first time check, they're on a mission, but quite expected, I think. Very experienced Spanish riders here.
My question is whether their women are going to be matching the women in the other squads, and I'm not so sure they are. But you never know. Paula Blasi is a great rider. Benito's a good rider. Osterladser's good. But have they got the time trial speed that we need them to have in order to give Spain a medal chance?
Agavi Marcia might have been a good addition.
Yeah. I saw her this morning training and thought, do you know what, actually, this course is good for Mavi Garcia.
She's a powerful rider. She's strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe, like I said, some teams are lining up here for a medal. They're lining up with a huge ambition for a medal, and there are other teams that are just giving opportunity for the developing riders in their nation to experience. And maybe it's an event that a discipline that they will focus on in the future. But each of these teams have different ambitions here today. Belgium in a little bit of trouble here now.
Campenaerts just trying to stay in the wheels. This is the Belgian squads that we were talking about. Marieke Mertz, Tess Merman and Julie van der Velde. Keeping those ice jackets on.
I must say, when I just ducked out for the loo, Anthony, it is extremely warm out there. So even though the temperatures are only reading around 30 degrees, it feels it's a different feeling here in Rwanda.
It is.
An absolute different feeling. So it's, and we had a little bit of rain earlier, but now the sun is shining and just the heat off the sun is really strong.
Mauritius are about to go, featuring Kim LaCour. The rider who wore the yellow jersey of the Tour de France Femme, won a stage of the Tour de France Femme this year. She is about to go. Kim LaCour with her teammates Lucie de Marigny-Lagesse and Aurélie Halboix. Those 3 riders are about to go. Kim LaCour of the team of AG Insurance Soudal. The Mauritian team across the line now. It's time to get underway. Mauritius are the 5th fastest time so far at the handover point. Spain are currently the fastest team on the course. And Spain now have lost a rider. So they've lost Alvarez. Hector Alvarez is gone, the rider who rides for the Little Trek Future team. And it's Ivan Romeo and Raul Garcia who are powering their way to the top. This looks like it's extremely hard. Romeo just desperately trying to stay there. Head right down, focusing on the back wheel. This is the moment where he said, I've had enough now. Hector Alvarez, I can't do any more. It's over to you two. He's only 18 years of age, this rider.
Yeah, and I think that would have been spoken about in depth before, and it actually allows these two riders to now start putting out more power. They're not protecting their third rider, so they have to look after each other. Obviously, they need to get the two riders together to the finish, but it looked to me like that was planned. Yep, okay, off we go. Bit of communication there between the two riders. Just stay behind me, I'll take this.
Yeah, that's good that they are communicated in that way. This is the Belgian men out on the course. The update is at the first split they were 7.55 seconds down. We're waiting for them to arrive here at the second split. We'll see where they are now, having lost that rider. So this is the second intermediate. They go through 20 seconds down. So they're shipping time now to Spain. They've lost about another 13 seconds on that second phase of that time trial. This is the situation at the second split. Spain, Belgium, People's Republic of China are the top three. In our third phase will be the teams that we've been talking about who are the likely medalists. Switzerland, France, followed by the team of Italy, then Germany, then Australia are the last team to go, being the defending champions. Have you got any insight as to what the Australian team think about this afternoon?
They would like to win the gold medal.
Yeah, always. Aussies don't ride for any other reason, do they?
They have so much experience together. They spend a lot of time together in training camps and stuff like that. It's a very experienced team of riders. So one of the young women is a very young, talented, emerging rider. But other than that, they have 5 of their riders that are just super, super experienced. I think they want to hold on. They won that gold medal in this discipline last year in the mixed team time trial relay. So they really do. I mean, their ambition is gold. I think they'd be disappointed with anything less. However, the general public has outright named France as the favourite for the gold medal.
Absolutely. Ukraine about to go then. Yulia Burikova, Yelisaveta Holod and Olna Kulinch. These are underway then. Ukraine get going. Ukraine third fastest, 1 minute behind China. So Ukraine have got their team out on the course now. Switzerland will go at 3:38 in the afternoon. It's now 3:21. Here's the arrival of Spain. They're still riding really well. They look good. It's been a well-drilled, well-orchestrated ride by the Spanish this afternoon. As we see the team of Spain and the women are about to go. Benito, Blasi and Ostalaza. They're about to go. Spanish team going to come up and be the fastest squad so far with a time that's going to be 2 minutes faster than China. Spain are underway now in the women's side. That's an impressive ride by Spain, isn't it? 2 minutes and 3 seconds faster.
Yeah, absolutely. Spain having a lot more experience at world level. You can see when they rolled off, you mentioned it, Anthony, that was the first team we saw that was just really professionally equipped, and they got in formation so quickly that we knew, okay, they're probably going to set the fastest time out there. China, there they are in that hot seat we spoke about, where they get to sit until their time is beaten.
They're enjoying themselves this afternoon on the big sofas. It's an important moment for a team like that, to feel like all that hard work's paid off. They're in the hot seats. They know pretty much that at some point their time will get beaten.
Yeah, absolutely. The longer they sit there, the longer they have those emotions of we're sitting in a winning position at a world championship, which is just absolutely amazing. I think the hot seat that we have at the World Championships in cycling, I don't know if they have it in a lot of other sports where your time can be beaten by other people in timed events, but it's a great concept to be able to sit there and take in the emotions of, okay, we've had 5 or 6 teams finish, and we are the best of those so far until the next wave comes in.
Also here in Rwanda, the fans like to sit and watch the hot seat, which I've noticed.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? They're staring at the athletes and just observing their communication and their emotions, and they'll see that hot seat change a lot when we get into the final wave of riders coming across the finish line. So the Spanish men now, they're just discussing how our women are out on the course now.
And here they are. Spanish women together. Benito, Blasi and Ostaladza. It's a useful group, and if they can ride well together and be well drilled, you just don't know what might happen this afternoon.
Well, that's what team time trialling is all about, being well drilled, being aware of your teammates, their condition, their ability, their capabilities. And you just saw there all the language is body language, a tip of the head, okay, I need to get on the back and have a rest. Oh, very well back on the wheel there.
And you look at these riders and they all ride for pro teams. When you just pick out the helmets they're wearing, and they've got their sponsors on the side, as Belgium now make their way into that last kilometre with Campenaerts and Vervenne. Those are the 2 riders from Belgium who are left. Don't forget to follow at UCI_cycling. UCI.org is where all the information about these championships is being posted. Keep an eye on the social media at UCI_cycling. It's very entertaining, actually, some of it. Looking here at down on the Belgians, I was smiling this morning because someone had created a video. We saw yesterday Tadej Pogačar, of course, was caught by Remco Evenepoel in that time trial, and someone's created a video using different footage of that and moments with Remco, where Remco is saying, I knew it was Tadej's birthday and I just wanted to deliver a cake to him, but it took me a long, long time to catch him.
It's one of the other aspects of cycling that I love, is that they're so competitive on the bike, but the camaraderie is really special. I've been involved in a lot of other sports where, you know, your nations are separated, but because we have trade teams and then we have national events as well, there's just so much camaraderie and respect for all of the athletes. They might change teams, but the friendships that they build, the relationships they build throughout the peloton is something really special.
Belgium arrive, and the Belgian women is about to go. Second fastest time for Belgium, 23.54 seconds down, having lost Florian Vermeers. Now the Belgian women get going. This change team, Marieke Mert, Tess Moorman, Julie van der Velde. And they're going to get into their rhythm now and keep the tempo nice and high. Here's Spain. The Spanish women look like they have really, really worked at this discipline. It looks like they've ridden together a fair amount.
Absolutely. They've had a superb ride to this point. See, without any mishaps, no doubt they're going to take that hot seat from China and sit themselves in the gold medal winning position, and they'll be looking at the time scoring board, see how long they can stay there for.
So at the finish, so far, it's China, from Ethiopia, from Rwanda, from Uganda, from Benin. But we know that the Spanish men are going well. Hector Alvarez has just arrived at the finish. He did a big amount of work out there for that squad. Team time trialing, for me, is always kind of a mesmerising sport. The way that you see the form